Admiral Thexion stood on the command deck of the Dominion's Fury, watching the holographic display with growing unease. For 300 years, the Hegemony Empire had ruled over 47 star systems with an iron fist, their fleet of 10,000 warships, ensuring absolute compliance from lesser species. Nothing had ever challenged their supremacy. Until today. "Report," he commanded, his mandibles clicking with authority, as his 6 eyes focused on the tactical officer. Lieutenant Zormek's tentacles trembled as she manipulated the sensor array. "Sir, the object materialized at the edge of the Proxima system 17 minutes ago. It's unlike anything in our databases." The main display showed a vessel that defied classification, roughly cylindrical, but with surfaces that seemed to flow and shift like liquid metal. It measured approximately 3 kilometers in length. No visible weapons, no energy signatures that matched known technology, and most disturbing of all, it appeared to be completely alone. "Size of escort fleet," Admiral Thexion demanded. "That's just it, sir," Zormek replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "There is no fleet. It's a single vessel." The Admiral's compound eyes narrowed. In his experience, only 3 types of beings traveled alone through hegemony space: the hopelessly naive, the completely insane, or those powerful enough that they didn't need escorts. Given that this ship had appeared without triggering their early warning systems, a feat that should have been impossible, he suspected the third option. "Send the standard ultimatum," he ordered. "Full compliance or destruction." The communications officer, a crystalline entity whose faceted body refracted the bridge's lights, transmitted the message that had brought thousands of worlds to their knees. "Unknown vessel, you have entered sovereign hegemony space. Surrender immediately for processing or be destroyed. You have 60 seconds to comply." The response came not through their communication systems, but as a voice that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, calm, almost amused, and speaking in perfectly comprehensible hegemony standard. "Admiral Thexion of the vessel Dominion's Fury," the voice said, and the Admiral felt his blood freeze at the casual use of his name and ship designation. "We are here to discuss terms." "Terms?" The Admiral's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of extreme agitation among his species. "You are one ship facing the might of the Hegemony Empire. What terms could you possibly offer?" "The terms of your surrender." Silence filled the bridge as the crew processed this impossibility. A single vessel, unknown origin, demanding the surrender of the most powerful military force in the galaxy. Admiral Thexion's laugh was like grinding metal. "Weapons officer, target that vessel and fire a warning shot. Let's show them what they're dealing with." The Dominion's Fury's primary plasma cannon, capable of destroying a moon, discharged its deadly energy toward the strange ship. The bolt of superheated matter should have vaporized any known material. Instead, it simply ceased to exist 10 meters from the vessel's hull, as if reality itself had decided the attack was irrelevant. "Fascinating technology," the voice commented conversationally. "Plasma-based energy weapons. We used similar systems about 50,000 years ago, before we developed more efficient methods." "Impossible," Admiral Thexion breathed. "Nothing can simply absorb that much energy." "Admiral," the voice continued, now carrying a hint of impatience, "we represent the architects, the species that designed this galaxy's current configuration. We've been away for quite some time, attending to matters in other spiral arms. Imagine our disappointment upon returning to find our carefully cultivated experiment overrun by pest species that have gotten above themselves." The main display shifted, showing star charts that no hegemony vessel should have been able to access detailed maps of every military installation, fleet position, and defensive network across their entire empire. Worse, the maps included installations that were classified beyond top secret, known only to the highest levels of command. "You see," The voice explained, as red markers appeared on thousands of locations simultaneously. Your empire has been quite busy strip mining worlds we had set aside for more interesting species, driving promising civilizations to extinction, generally making a mess of things. Admiral Thexion felt his confidence crumbling. What? What do you want? Simple. You have 72 standard hours to withdraw all hegemony forces to your original home system. Reparations will be arranged for the species you've oppressed. Your empire, as it currently exists, is terminated. And if we refuse? The Admiral's voice cracked, despite his efforts to maintain authority. The response came not in words, but in demonstration. Across the star map, 12 hegemony battle stations, each one a fortress, capable of holding an entire system, simply winked out of existence. Not destroyed, not damaged, gone, as if they had never existed at all. That was 12% of your total military infrastructure, the voice noted clinically. We're prepared to continue the demonstration if necessary. Lieutenant Zormek looked up from her console, her tentacles now rigid with terror. Sir, we're receiving reports from across the Empire. 12 battle stations, along with their entire garrisons, have vanished. No energy signatures, no debris, no trace. Admiral Thexion stared at the display, showing the impossible vessel, his mind struggling to process what was happening. An empire that had ruled for centuries, that had never known defeat, was being casually dismantled by beings so advanced that their weapons couldn't even touch the enemy ship. 71 hours and 47 minutes remaining, the voice announced. We suggest you begin evacuation procedures immediately. Oh, and Admiral? Don't make us come back. The universe is vast, but our patience with pest control is not unlimited. The strange ship began to fade from their sensors, not moving away, but simply becoming less real until it disappeared entirely, leaving no trace it had ever existed except for the star charts still displayed on their screens and the growing flood of reports from across the Empire confirming the impossible. Admiral Thexion looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew beings from a dozen species, all united now in the understanding that they had just witnessed the end of everything they had known. The hegemony empire, 3 centuries in the building, had been sentenced to death by beings so far beyond them that resistance was not just futile, it was meaningless. And the strangest part was that their executioners had been polite about it.